Hey, this is Corey Clement of the Philadelphia Eagles, Super Bowl champions, and you're watching MUT Force with director and Trumpetmonkey. Stay frosty and fly, Eagles, fly.
What's up, guys? It's the director and the Trumpetmonkey.
Hello!
And we've got another solid lineup of Madden Ultimate Team things to talk about today, as well as a special guest.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the industrious, the illustrious, the indestructible, Zan.
It's Zan!
Starburst.
Welcome to the show, Zan. We are very excited to have you. How are you doing today, sir?
Great, man. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to talk about a little bit of MUT content. I'm gonna get a little bit of crap from some of my viewers on my stream because they always tell me that I don't know the MUT content and I don't know the sets. But I'm gonna hopefully show well for them today. See how it goes.
We've got a couple connoisseurs here today to help you throughout the whole process. Well, don't worry. You just relax. We'll take it from here, Zan. We got you.
We shall show them, Zan. And Zan, thanks for being here, mate. Happy Friday, mate. Obviously, massive fans of the show. And we're going to be going through our regular MUT Force content as well. But we need to come up with a nickname for you as an honorary member of MUT Force. It's like X-Force. I don't know if you read the comic books, okay? But basically, MUT Force is like the darker side. The darker side of the MUT community. We all have code names, and we're like, well, we're not really, but we're like assassins. We're like Madden assassins. You definitely are a Madden assassin. So everybody in chat needs to type down below what Zan's MUT Force nickname, his code name should be. You know, like it could be like release the albatross. You know, that's what we need to say whenever we're releasing Zan upon the world. Okay, so
Zan,
there you go.
What are some characteristics that would describe you aggressively as a human being? Don't be shy.
Man, I can't think of too many. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's putting me on the spot.
It doesn't have to be anything too big. For instance, if I go to Subway and the guy puts something on that I don't say to put on, and it's only been a couple seconds since I gave the instructions, I can go ape shit on him real quick.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The MUT Force. Yeah, you'll have to give me time to think on that. By the end of the show, I'll have something for you.
Nice.
I like that, though. Nice. Guys, in the comments, as we progress through this show, help us come up with a name for Zan for MUT Force as we induct him into the credible group of human beings that feel somewhat dangerous to the MUT community.
Absolutely. Joining some illustrious ranks, by the way, because you might not know this, but as you see by the opening of the video, Corey Clement is now a member of MUT Force. David Johnson is, he doesn't know it, but an unofficial member of MUT Force. But he's going to, he'll be getting the paperwork soon enough. Buffalo K, the accountant, okay, obviously, like, Gut Fox was the easiest MUT Force name ever, just Fox.
Star Fox.
Pretty easy right there.
Star Fox. But welcome to the crew, bro.
And I don't know if you know this, Zan, but to open our show, we actually have Corey Clement himself saying you are watching MUT Force. So he'll be leading us, and you got to follow that up, though. We need something, another level, an elevation beyond that level.
Well, I'll see if I can try to provide that. I mean, 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl last year?
The bar has been set. It's not impossible.
I guess you could. The only thing that could be better, maybe if it was like Khalil Mack in a Bears jersey or something like that. But we won't go there. It's okay. We don't have to go there.
I've got to call all the agents and make that happen. That will make up for the terrible punishment coming up in the next couple of days. All right, Trumpetmonkey, as always, bring us into what we can expect from this episode of MUT Force.
Tonight on MUT Force with director and Trumpetmonkey and Zan, we hack the crap out of MUT to get you 10 million coins. And we also hack the latest Ultimate Kickoff promo.
Boom. All right, boys. So a steady stream of content, as always, provided by EA this season. We are going to start right here at the top of the week with the Team of the Week promo. And can I ask you guys this? What the heck is MUThead trying to sell me right now? Every time I come on here, it's like, are you interested in life-size Velociraptor models? Or this yodeling pickle from Amazon? One of these days, they're going to get me.
Hey, no judgment over here, okay? You know I live in Europe. We're pretty open-minded, but that does not look like a pickle. That's all I'm saying, man. Whenever I see that at the top of your screen, director, I'm always like, well, far be it for me to judge. I see the big button there. I don't know what those holes are at the other end, though. But okay.
My Amazon search history is going to have to go on lockdown after this episode.
I think so.
Yodeling pickle. Something's coming to me. Is it the next Zahn Mutt Force nickname? I don't know. Stay tuned later on in the episode to find out. Well, to start off, team of the week, we were given this Emmanuel Sanders. Now, this is where I'm super excited to have Zan on the show because I know Zan is going no money spent this season, which we'll dive a little bit deeper into this episode. But Zan, when you see a player like Emmanuel Sanders going for 270,000 coins, take a look at his stats. What is going on in your mind early week when you see this card drop?
Generally speaking, or from no money spent perspective?
Maybe both. Okay. A general perspective on what you think of the card, and then maybe if he would make the Zan lineup or not.
Yeah, so I think that this card is very solid in terms of its underneath route running, deep route running, and also it's gonna get open at an elite level underneath on the short route, so it's gonna get the optimum cut that takes no wasted steps. Compared to guys that are below 91. Decent speed, decent acceleration. But for me personally, I'm worried about his ability to catch the ball down in the red zone when the windows are tighter. So I probably wouldn't go with that this year. I'm more of kind of a downfield attack. Unfortunately, from a no money spent perspective, $270K wouldn't be something I'd be able to spend anyways. So, it's something that doesn't really strike my eye right off the bat. Probably something that I could visit later down the road when, I'm looking for a slot receiver and his price is much lower.
Dan, don't be shy. We all know 270,000 coins is a little bit to spend.
Yeah.
However, the real reason is because we don't want any dirty Broncos touching and contaminating our lineup. Emmanuel Sanders, maybe when you were a Steeler, my friend. Maybe when you were a Steeler in another life.
Facts.
But the second card that did drop this week, something that caught my eye immediately as someone who runs at a 4-3, Miles Jack, Trumpetmonkey. What do you think of Miles Jack, the brand new left outside linebacker?
Awesome coverage linebacker. Awesome card. I was running with his 86 power up. And basically, which I'm no money spenders. Everybody knows. And I basically kind of powered up for free using the level power pass, right, from 83 to 85. So I had Miles Jack running at 86 before I went to Von Miller. And even when I was blitzing him, he'd still get in there, even though he doesn't have the most fabulous pass rushing stats. I think it was just the sheer speed and that MUT force factor. But this card right here, well, a little bit of a peek ahead to our upcoming video. The director and the monkey did finally play in the MUT humiliation match. And you may very well see a man coverage interception. Look, the man coverage is only 70. What, you probably have lockdown, right? So it's only 80 overall man coverage. You're going to see a Miles Jack pick in that game, guys.
But for a linebacker, that 80 man coverage is pretty nasty. And you guys will see that. Me personally, as soon as I saw Miles Jack, your options out of a 4-3 defense are really limited when it comes to having that really beastly left outside linebacker on your team. So as soon as he dropped, I knew that he had to be added to my roster. Zan, what peeks out at you from this card as far as stats that would put him under consideration for the Zan lineup?
Obviously, he's got insane athleticism, 84 speed, 87 acceleration, very solid agility as well. I wouldn't say that this is necessarily somebody that would be the best user in the game, but this is an item that if you let the computer play with him, above 80 block shed, 83 zone really stands out to me. That's really, really good. And something that Trumpet talked about, do you have the ability to maybe look at his traits? Because he brought up something that was really important. This is something that a lot of people know me as kind of like a theory guy with traits, but and that's fine if you can't pull them up. But he does not.
There it is.
There they are. He does not have any pass rushing traits. So when you say that he gets in there on those blitzes, it's because he's avoiding contact. He doesn't look to initiate with the offensive line. Because he doesn't typically use the swim, spin, or bull rush. This was something that we discovered last year when labbing out a blitz. Whoa. And that's how we figured out, oh, shoot, all these guys that don't get picked up, they don't have any pass rushing traits. So that's why they come around the end, off the edge free or through a gap. And eventually I started looking for guys that didn't have the best pass rushing traits because they hit those gaps a lot easier.
So basically when coach comes at you on the sideline and says, quit dancing out there, that's what we're looking to avoid with these maybe unnecessary traits added onto these linebackers. That is mind-blowing. To think that if they avoid that animation altogether, wow.
Oh my God.
Wow.
So because he has no swim move, no spin move, no bull rush, Zan. Yeah, he's literally the athleticism you spoke about. He's just running around people to get in.
Yeah, basically. So when you're looking at a blitz with a player like that, he's the player that you're blitzing from the second level behind the people that are, engaging the defense or the offensive line. So that's that guy that you sneak in through the B gap when you rush an outside linebacker as well. And you wouldn't put a guy like this at defensive end where he's going to engage every single play because he doesn't have those. He doesn't have those moves to get off the block. But if you're blitzing him from space, he's going to look for room and just try to hit the gap rather than going into the lineman.
This is why I feel, as a MUT Force, one of the hosts, whatever you want to call us, I feel privileged to have guys like Zan on the show. Because to me, when I see those traits, I think to myself, he's got what he needs to be a coverage linebacker. No!
I'm not taking him.
In the background, he is secretly a beast that can get behind everybody because he's not engaging in unnecessary animations. That is ridiculous. Well, thank you, Zach.
That's unreal,
there it is again. Life-size Velociraptor. I don't know what MUT head is trying to pull here. They see the set, and they're like, go good with that life-size Stormtrooper on the left side. Let's go ahead and get that life-size Velociraptor on the right. I mean, I'll consider it.
For every man who has a yodeling pickle, he needs a life-size Velociraptor as well.
That'd be fun. I think that'd be a fun game to play with all your guests. Just, what is your Amazon search suggestions?
Oh, no. And that's all we have time for here on MUT Force, because Trumpetmonkey does not want his internet history. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Bye. With the way to say, I just saw a Buddha down there as well. That's hilarious.
We do engage in some very dodgy weekend activities. The next promo that dropped this week, again, Rising Stars, which me and Trumpetmonkey feel is a promo to take advantage of later when you need the extra chems. We did get a Jonathan Allen and Mr. Poo Poo Kaka Pee Pee Head, and Jonathan Allen kind of stuck out for me for just a second, but really, guys, you know what you're getting in these 86 overall cards. What do you think of Jonathan Allen, Trumpetmonkey?
Yeah, well, look, the fact, I actually really liked MUT Guru's tweet this week when he said there's a 90, he tweeted there's a 91 throw power and a 91 power move card coming out in this year. Have a look at this when you click the upgrade here. Click on 86 overall there, the final tier, and it goes up to 91, doesn't it? On the power move, there we go. 91 power move down the bottom there. Now that's pretty solid. But this card for me, I had his freaking rookie premiere a year ago. So this is a year too late. So this made me really butthurt, this card. I was like, great. I was like, can my rookie premiere from 2 years ago finally get a freaking upgrade then, please? Like, you're bringing him out now. So, like, Jonathan Allen. Okay, first of all, this dude is an absolute legend in real life. Do you know what he said he was going to do with his first ever NFL paycheck after looking after his family? He said, I'm buying myself a gaming rig, a PC gaming rig. He said, I'm a PC gamer. It's what I do in my spare time. And I was like, this dude is my hero. And then he continued to do nothing for his rookie season. I really wanted this guy to be an instant Pro Bowler so he could be like PC Master Race, but
was Allen the one that ended up getting hurt on the Skins?
I think so. Like, he had like a nagging injury.
Don't you look like a dick right now, Trumpetmonkey? Well, he proceeded to do nothing when I was rookie. He got hurt.
But actually, this is the first week I thought Rising Stars was great. And maybe Zan can tell us a little bit more about Pat Mahomes. But the upgrade Pat Mahomes with the throw power in particular was pretty cool. And yes, he's Mr. Poo Poo Pee Pee Head because he's a chief. I get it, but still. Chiefs Nation out there, they're they're
Now,
happy.
what day is it right now? It is
California.
late Friday night, so I still have a day and a half before I can get over last week's game with Patrick Mahomes, who absolutely lit up the Chargers, who really have one of the better secondaries in the league. So he might be getting some better cards down the line if he continues to perform. But Zan, what peeks out to you from the Patrick Mahomes cards? Obviously, the throw power. What does that mean to a player like you? Let's talk a little bit. No money spent. What is that? What does Patrick Mahomes speak to you as far as a no money spent guy?
The throw power, it's very, very good. 92 is what you can get with the top end. So that's great, but I'm not in on this card. The accuracies are terrible. I can't deal with 76 accuracy for a short. That's going to be terrible ball placement on some 4th down and 2 route, whether it be a swing route or something over the middle short. Yeah. And then he's going to overthrow a lot of touchdowns as well because his throw accuracy deep is only 70.
And actually, director, if you go to the upgrade screen, this is the base card, but Zan's like spot on. It doesn't get that much better even when he goes to 86, which was like again, I'm with director on this one. I think he's gonna see he only goes to 84 short. I think we're going to see Mahomes upgrades throughout the year if he continues to kind of play like he did in week 1 there. I mean, the director and I are hoping it's an anomaly and his cards just start to get downgraded. That'd be really cool. And obviously they have downgraded beneath the camera all the way to the ground. But I feel like he's going to get even more upgrades. One thing I thought was weird about this though, only if you scroll up a tiny bit there, director, only 75 speed. I thought Mahomes was fast.
Well, if you look at guys like Russell Wilson, he's only got 79 speed, something like that, and he's one tier higher. So I feel like the speed takes a minute to catch up with the quarterback specifically. But
if he had 80 speed, this card might have been starting to knock on the door of like budget beast, I think, but he doesn't. So we'll see.
In reality, most people are going to have the Carson Wentz that, in all honesty, it's pretty hard to pass up on a free 90 overall quarterback that has really decent stats. So Patrick Mahomes, someday, but not today. Later on in the week, we were blessed with the primetime performer cards, starting with Donta Hightower of the New England Patriots. This guy seems to exceed in 3-4 defenses, a little bit more than 4-3. Zan, why don't you go ahead and take us away here with the stats?
So he's coming in with 81 speed, 81 block shed. His power move is actually very nice at 89. That's going to be very tough for most offensive tackles to pick up. So this is a pretty solid item. If you're looking for a guy who's always going to rush the passer, I think you can get away with him. Might be a little bit suspect in coverage just with the 81 speed. I typically likes to have, a little bit more than that, especially if you're going to use a player like this. But he's got elite computer stats because his awareness and play recognition are going to have the computer playing with him in a pretty good spot. So I think you could use him as a nice, 3-4 outside linebacker. Probably wouldn't use him as a defensive end, though.
So out of curiosity, Zan, what are you running at left outside linebacker right now? I know a no money spent guy is probably not going to fork out the over 500,000 coins it would take to get Hightower on the squad. Who are you rolling out with right now? Let's be real, as a no money spent player that's in an affordable price range.
So I actually took the Telvin Smith from the Gauntlet solo. Or was it the Gauntlet solo? I'm trying to think.
I think it was a campaign.
Sorry. The rookies were the Gauntlets. Sorry about that. So I took the Telvin Smith from the campaign solo, and I've since powered him up as well. So that's who I'm running. But if you're going budget at outside linebacker, there's a lot of players that you can get that have pretty good speed, decent block shed. But it depends on how low you want to go. Are we talking salary cap or regular MUT? But overall, I think for no money spent guys, that campaign Telvin should still be on your field at this point.
Yeah, he's a freaking beast.
And Shaquem Griffin came straight out of the blocks. 72 overall core rookie card with 84 speed, the fastest linebacker in the game day one. we know he's gonna be getting an upgrade. He's the darling of the NFL, and rightly so. It's an awesome story. And everybody wanted him in the game as quickly as possible and wanted him. Like that core rookie card for the first couple of weeks was hovering around like 10 to 15K in price range. And I think that card is going to be amazing whenever that comes out, because I think he's going to be like knocking on the door of 90 speed. I really do. I think like if he gets like a low 80s or even a mid 80s, lights out. I can't wait to have him on my team, basically. And he's probably going to replace my Clowney or my Von Miller. I'll do it.
Yeah, that Griffin is pretty nice. I've seen him in a lot of squads that there's obviously people that are fans of the player that keep him on even though they have higher overall squads. I still see him make plays, dude. That speed you cannot ignore. The next card in the primetime performers dropped this week was Mike Evans, 91 overall after a spectacular performance we saw the Sunday previous. What did he have? A couple touchdowns. Ryan Fitzmagic just going off. He was an absolute beast in this game. Unfortunately, 6'5" will only get you so far, in my opinion, with 85 speed. And this is something that I wouldn't necessarily knock on if he wasn't over 500,000 coins, be it 665,000. But for anybody that really wants, like they're a huge Mike Evans fan, Tampa Bay Buccaneers till I die, what would you say this card can do for you on a squad if you're truly trying to utilize him, Zan?
I've heard already from some players that are pretty high-level players that he is absolutely unbelievable in the red zone, as he should be. I mean, 6'5", 92 jump. He's going to have 91 catch in traffic. The spec catch is unreal as well. And that's one of the ratings that they use down in the red zone. You throw those high-point passes where, over the middle towards the goalpost. That's where Mike Evans is going to thrive. Not necessarily a burner. Very, very strong, too. So going to be pretty solid and physical in the run game, so he should be able to hold up most of the corners. So he'll improve your run game as well. Yeah.
I mean, this guy, I wasn't scared by the lack of speed. This is one of those cards, though. Gutfox last week saying he didn't like the primetime performers kind of being priced, basically pricing a lot of people out with the 500K quick sell value. This is one of those cards that I would love to try. So whilst I am a fan of the 500K quick sell value and the value holding on cards, like I genuinely am, because I got Howie Long and Derek Carr on the team, so I know I've got 1 million coins later on in the year already stashed away. I am a fan of that concept, but in this case, I really want to try this card. I'm with you, Zan. I want 92 jump and 6'5". I want to try some high points in the red zone, literally inside the 10, inside the red zone, the green zone, the money zone. This is where I really want to try him out. There's a couple of formations actually in the Pats where this card coming on like a nice, for me anyway, I run him on a hitch, not even like a kind of a deep in or a slant in the red zone, where this card in particular I think would be amazing. So God, we probably won't ever get to try him unless you're doing like MUT drafts or something like that, and they update the player base.
Yeah, that is a little bit unfortunate because me too. Back last season in Madden 18, you guys know my favorite wide receiver in a very long time was Harold Carmichael, just because he got those animations that no other wide receiver would get.
Unbelievable.
And he was definitely one of my favorite wide receivers in a long time. Mike Evans could be similar, but I don't know if I'll ever know because that card is so expensive. We'll
pricey.
See. We'll see. And I think later on in the year, the training points, because you can bypass it with training points. When training points aren't as expensive later on in the year, I think we can give him a shot. But right now, he seems a little bit unobtainable. But again, if you're a Bucs fan and you can get that +2, +3 speed, get him up to like 90. You got that scheme team. He could definitely be one of those guys that people don't expect to see. I want to be in one of those games one time on the stream where someone comes in with like Mike Evans and Ryan Fitzpatrick and stuff like that on their top 3. And I'm like, well, this should be easy. And then Mike Evans has like 90 speed. I'm like, wait a second, what's going on? And he's going all the way out there. That would be insane.
That was my Buccaneers walking onto the field. Like, hello, Washington Buccaneers. Hello there. Errol Flint. That was
every Buccaneers fan is embarrassed and have unsubscribed from the channel. Okay, guys.
As they should be.
Trumpetmonkey, keep dancing because we got something. we got something exciting to talk about, especially for guys like Zan who are no money spent. We've done some math, we've done some equations, and we figured that we can help you guys build a monstrosity of a team for very little money spent, if no money spent. Trumpetmonkey, Professor Trumpetmonkey, do you want to bring us through the statistics, through the math and the equations, and tell our viewers how they can make 10 million coins throughout the course of Madden 19?
I do, and Zan, you're no money spent this year. And I hope you're finding it fun. We want to know. That's one of our burning questions for you. So I hope you love this segment right here, okay? Because it's really, really simple. And the reason we're putting it on MUT Force, we've tweeted about this. Director and I have spoken about it on both of our streams. People are still not quite understanding, not quite believing it. Even one guy yesterday on Mutthead, I wrote everything out, all of the figures and the tweet. I'm not going to go through all the figures right here. You can trust me on this. We've done the math, okay? Bottom line, every single week from just the base solos in the game. Now, when we say just the base solos, we mean you have to play everything. You have to do every daily objective. Okay. You've got to do every daily objective. You've got to do the team of the week solos. You've got to play all of your solo battles. You need to do the legend solos on the weekend. Play every single solo available to you. It will take you between 6 and 10 hours, depending on how good and how quick you are and if you chew the clock well. Okay, but every single week you do that. And the weekly objectives, right? You will get in excess of 220,000 coins.
That's being conservative.
Wow. That's being conservative. That doesn't count. That doesn't count head-to-head trophies, quick selling them or putting those into sets. That doesn't count any promos, whether it was the Gatorade promo, the Ultimate Kickoff promo, any of those giant slabs of solos, campaigns, rookie gauntlets, journey. None of that. I'm talking the base solos that come out on a weekly basis, the most simple ones, and the weekly objectives and the daily objectives. If you do them, you're getting 220,000 coins every week plus.
I will raise you. I will see that 220,000 coins and raise you to 260,000 coins. Part of my weekly regimen, Trumpetmonkey, is on Mondays and Tuesdays, the complete set for the daily objectives. I will use that for a silver token. And then on Wednesdays, when Rising Stars are released, I will trade in those tokens for the 80 overall cards you get in that set. You can sell that card for a crispy 20,000 coins each. And those are just some simple tips that you can stack on top of the already guaranteed 220,000 coins if you stick to a pretty strict schedule every single week.
And that's market manipulation right there. That's like a simple little trick, right? This is what we're talking about, people. But even if you're like, well, I don't want to get involved in the auction hall, that sounds difficult. 220,000 coins waiting for you just for playing the game you like every single week. 880,000 on a monthly basis. In the end, over 10 million coins on the entire year just for playing the solos. That's not including promos, guys. Promos come out sometimes and you can literally make 500,000. And it looks like they're going to be following the formula of last year. So in this Ultimate Kickoff promo, guys, you could build completely free and still have coins left over, actually. Completely free. One of the 90 overall players to either put into your lineup or sell for 220,000. So there's another 200,000 after tax right there just from that promo. So guys, by the end of playing MUT, if you are playing it for the full year, your squad will be godly. I guarantee you with anywhere between 10 million plus coins on the year just from solos. All right, that doesn't include playing Weekend League, doesn't include the promos, okay? You're probably going to get up to freaking 15 million if you're playing some Weekend League and doing all the promos as well. That is a God squad waiting to happen right there. You'll be able to, you're going to be one of those July goons, as they call you. You're going to have a 99 overall team that can hold its own against anybody. And people don't quite understand. And they're like, I still am not buying it. I don't understand. There's the simple math for you. 220,000 coins.
This is strange. I'm getting some word in from Philadelphia themselves this time, Trumpetmonkey. The directors patched into Philadelphia. It seems that Eagles fans rioting in Philadelphia, throwing cars over, jumping off of buildings, saying they are unhappy with the free 10 million coins a year from simply doing objectives, solos, etc. They are ununderstanding of how to take advantage of the absolute abundance abundance of coins EA is dropping on us for no money spent this year. Trumpetmonkey, they're awaiting a response. What do you have to say to those Philadelphians that are unhappy with the abundance of coins?
Fly, Eagles, fly.
That's all I have to say right there. But all right, that's my monologue over. I'm sorry, Zan. You're no money spent. This is for the first time. This is one of our burning questions for you, bro.
Oh, I'm so excited.
How are you finding it this year? How are you finding it? What do you think?
And how do you survive? Like, what do you do?
Man, I'm not sure. It's been very, very tough for the first. It seems to be getting tougher with each weekend league that comes up. But I will say that I'm settling in a little bit. I think that the major benefit that no money spent players maybe don't realize is that they are absolutely resourceful, and they're going to be much better with their reads. They're going to be more calculated with their game decisions because they want to shorten games up. They want to, try to possess the ball, keep the ball out of their opponent's hands because, when somebody else is on offense and they run 92, 91, 90, their receivers and your best corner is 87. It gets to be very, very tough. So,
oh my God, Zan, this is what me and Trumpetmonkey call the Michael Vick syndrome. When you're rolling out with a pocket passer that you understand, like, okay, I got this medium accuracy, I got this deep accuracy, I can't leave the pocket because that would be stupid. And then you go and pick yourself up a Michael Vick. Players get crazy. Yes. They're like, well, now I can run for 10 yards and then juke a guy and then spin a guy and then take it in for the touchdown. You're not going to do that, folks. That is not going to happen. Even though you've got a Michael Vick, you got to pay attention to the stats that he has available to you. And that's something, Zan, that I'm very impressed with hearing from somebody of your caliber, because when you have a team that you have to focus in on the attributes that you have to utilize, that is something that I've noticed as a player affects me every single game. If I've got this godly running back or this godly wide receiver, I find myself making dumber and dumber reads because I figure, Randy Moss will bring it down. It's Randy Moss. Dub Bears. I had no reason, Dub Bears. Just bring it down. Just bring it down. So that's great insight. Now, what is your coin accumulation look like on a weekly basis? I understand you're a weekend league, or what do they call it now? MUT Champions participant. What sort of coin accumulation will you see on a regular basis on an average week of weekend league?
Well, actually, I try to get the weekend league games in. It's been I typically don't stream on the weekends, so I've been trying to build my team up to a point where I could start playing weekend league and then just keep myself to it. Earning coins is tough, though. I would say the majority of my coin accumulation comes from actual seasons head-to-head right now.
Yeah.
And I know that that's probably not the best way to earn coins. Obviously, there's, I've started actually using the accountant's tips. So we're starting to flip cards. I'm excited to log on tomorrow morning, flip a few cards, and then wait till Monday with some stuff I've already stockpiled up from this week.
I hope you're watching, Buffalo K.
Starting to learn.
Zan is watching.
I am, yes. He's been very, very helpful. He's reached out and said, we're going to make sure that you're a millionaire. We're going to, make sure your team's right with this, because it truly is a challenge. Last year, and you talk about the Vick syndrome, that really was it. I knew I had 99 across my offensive line. They were going to hold up. I had Vick if I got myself in trouble, and, I was just going to wait for those guys to bust open. And it was more of a, your progression reads were, high to low. And that just doesn't happen when you're no money spent. Your progressions are typically going to be low to high because you want to get that ball out as soon as possible. It's been eye-opening for me this year. But, I think I'm a better player for it.
I love
that. If you're a trash can player like me, your progressions are low, lower, low, lowest of low, run back to the locker room.
I mean, I'm not going to say I've seen Trumpetmonkey run 20 yards backwards before trying to throw it out, but I might have seen that once or twice. Now, Zan, I want to throw a fun scenario at you right here, okay? First off, let us know, what playbooks are you running? Are you 3-4, 4-3? Tell us a little bit about your team.
So I run an under center offense right now. I'm in between two books. Run and gun is probably my favorite offense to run right now. Stiff, the Madden 16 champion, he and I kind of looked at it and started labbing that up. He came out with this single back ace slot that was really, really good, and I've been running that quite a bit. And just most recently today, That's when I started taking a look at the Patriots ace personnel. So I like to run 2 receivers, 2 tight ends, 1 back. And then defensively, I'm kind of all over the place. I like to run a little bit of dollar. I run 5-2 a lot, which is not in very many playbooks. So defensively, I'm either in multiple or I'm in Carolina, typically on defense.
Okay,
Nice.
so here comes the test. Get your notebooks out and grab your notes because it's time. It's time, Zan. We're gonna put this knowledge to the test. All right, here we go. So first question. You're looking at trying to drain some clock out. It is 2nd and 6. Where are you going to on your playbook?
Single back ace slot. I'm going to come out with stretch and dive, looking to obviously read the box. If they're pack in the middle, we're going to go to the outside zone, the stretch call. And if they're, obviously a more stretched out defense trying to set that edge, then I'm going to look to run the dive.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Beautiful. Now here comes a tougher one. It is 3rd and 10. You need a conversion here. You're down 3. You're at midfield. Where are you going to on your playbook?
I'm going to stay in the single back ace slot because you want to make them think that you're going to run your offense out of that base offense. This is kind of the way that a lot of advanced players think, is they want to be able to have run game with certain motions that looks the exact same as some passing plays that'll use those same motions. So I'm going to stick in the ace slot and I'm going to run the play smash. It's basically going to run the outside receiver on a hitch. The slot receiver is going to run a corner over the top of the hitch. And the tight end is going to run a streak down the field. So you got a nice little sideline flood. Just, pick the area of the sideline that they're not covering.
Oh, okay. This is getting juicy. It's getting juicy. Here comes the monster question. The monster question. Now, I know in realism, in reality, this would never happen. But you're looking at 4th and 22. You need a conversion for at least a field goal to win the game. Where are you going to in your playbook? Desperation time, Zan.
I'm going to go with the gun trips tight end, PA slot corner. I'm going to take the tight end, put him on a fade. I'm going to block the running back. I'm going to motion the corner route across so it becomes a post. Then you have one post that runs this direction, another post that runs that direction. They can only use their one. You throw the one that's open.
Dude,
Love it.
You know
this
what's
is kind of
awesome?
Intense.
No, you know what's awesome? I'm sitting here and I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm just like staring, and I can see like the play out in my mind's eye. I know a lot of those formations. I'm seeing it. He's like, oh my God, this is why you are. Yeah, that's it. I think we've come up with you might have said it there by accident, director. I think we've come out with your MUT Force name.
Yodeling
and,
pickle?
He referred, the yodeling pickle.
The yodeling pickle.
The life-size velociraptor. No. No. Those can be your AKAs, by the way. Those can be aliases, depending on what continent you're in. But no, I was gonna say, the Master of Zahn. I like that. You called him Zahn by accident there. Like the Master of Zahn. I like that. Seriously, come on.
You're mail him a Doctor Strange cape. Maybe get him one of those mustaches from the party store. Just have him stand in front of some rays of light.
Doctor Strange.
What was the Superman villain that started with a Z?
That's what we were talking about before stream. It's General Zod.
About that before you gave a General Zod, right?
Okay.
Zod.
Yep.
You like that? You like?
It's been staring us in the face.
General Zod. No.
It's been
General
staring us
Zod.
in the face. Field General Zahn.
General Zahn, son of Krypton. You do have Superman-like abilities on the Madden field, it has to be said. So there we go. What about this? General Master Zahn.
Now we're just splitting hairs.
General Master Zahn, a.k.a. the yodeling pickle, a.k.a. the life-size velociraptor. Well, okay, no shit. If you put me on a football field and I literally have the option of, okay, my players can either go against like a velociraptor or Zan, I'm probably going to be picking the velociraptor. Like, okay, so your Derek Carr card is probably going to get eaten, literally, and you lose the card. Right, like so, velociraptors can eat some of your MUT cards and you never get them back, or you can play against Zan. And I'm taking my chances with the Raptor.
You know what I just realized? Amazon might be a bunch of crooks because they've advertised it as a life-size Velociraptor. And you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I'm going to have that Jurassic Park Velociraptor back there in my studio. It's going to look great. In reality, a Velociraptor was only about the size of a chicken. So I hope you guys get your expectations lowered before that package reaches your house. Well, speaking of no money spent, Zahn, we have a couple of tips to help you specifically and all those trying to make it through. Yeah, General Zahn. Trying to make it through the MUT season without spending a lot of coin. Now, there's a lot of players that benefit greatly from training points. Training points are, we all know, not as cheap as we were hoping before Madden 19 came out. However, there are ways around it. One way to accomplish this right now, which I actually got a tip from some of my guys in my MUThead clan, we went ahead to the Ultimate Kickoff promo. Spent roughly 600,000 coins after completing the solos to get a free Casey Hayward, quote unquote free. You've got to do some objectives and stuff like that. So we paid for three, fully about 200,000 coins each, three of the other heroes that go into the set, and created a Luke Kuechly, which we then sold for about 500,000 coins. What we then did was quick sell all of the players that we weren't using. I would highly suggest holding on to at least Casey Hayward. He's a great card, great depth position. But if you quick sell all of them, let's say you don't want any of them, you're looking at 4,400 training points. All right? Now, to put that in perspective, you really spent, after selling Kuechly, around 100K. That is 100,000 coins for 4,400 training. You could literally transform your team overnight just by upgrading, different upgradable cards like Champ Bailey, Sean Taylor, up to the highest tier, and really not put a dent in your coins. There you go.
And that's an unreal tip to give the folks at home an idea. If you were just to basically go on the auction hall and get some good deals to get 4,400 training points, okay, you're looking at spending 350,000 coins. That'd be a good deal. Sometimes maybe even a little bit higher. That's what I'm saying. So to literally save $250,000 in coins by doing that is absolutely awesome. But people ask us, what do you mean hack the promos? This is how you hack the promos. This is how you take advantage of the promos. You come onto MUT Force, you listen with your ears, and we tell you, here's how you do it. Here's how you do it. Now, another really hot tip, okay? Everyone's like, well, I did all the solos, and I still didn't have enough cards to build Casey Hayward. Well, guess what? Every day you complete your daily objectives. Remember I was telling you to do those? Yeah, every day, complete your daily objectives. You're getting one free gold Ultimate Kickoff card, okay? Now, you're going to have leftovers. That's going all the way up to the 21st of September. You're going to be getting them. I guarantee you'll be able to build one of the 90 overall Ultimate Kickoff players and have leftover golds to put into the elite set. Who knows what you pull out of that? That's not specific to a low elite. You may very well pull a high elite out of that particular set as well. So this is how you hack the system. This is how you hack the coins, guys.
Trumpetmonkey's starting to remind me of an angry professor in college. He's like, I gave you the extra credit. What are you talking? This is on you, bro.
He was a Californian, we'll be honest there. But for a guy like Zan, okay, there's got to be some cards that really, it's worth spending training points on, right? So I know coins are precious at no money spent. What are some players to you, maybe possibly on your squad, that you would consider dropping those training points on? Let's say you do the promo hack. What would you use that with?
So the one that I first powered up when I got my team was Jabal Sheard. His Team Diamond is my ultimate goal. Eventually I can get his and have the full power up version. But if you take a look at him, as far as the defensive end goes, 4-3, 3-4, he's going to be able to block shed and he's going to be able to get to the quarterback. He's got very, very good, I believe it's power move. He's going to be able to get to the quarterback very, very easily. He's a dominant defensive end. I think he's going to be an in-game type of player. EA is going to continue to power him up. He's becoming very, very popular this year. I think people are going to be waiting for his first big game, get that team of the week item. They're going to be really looking for that. Another one in the secondary that I upgraded was Adrian Amos, not only because I'm a Chicago Bears fan, but because the dude can fly. He can absolutely fly all over the field.
He's amazing. Okay. This I'm so glad you mentioned him, Zan, because myself and director have been sitting there. The safety position has been one of concern because stats don't seem to matter. Well, that's a loaded statement though. I really want to hear what your opinion is. I can tell Director wants to say something as well, but what is your opinion on the most important stat for the safety position? Because play rec and awareness don't seem, zone coverage mega doesn't. For me, I have a sneaking suspicion that it's just speed. Certain thresholds on everything else, but speed, like you said, the flying. What do you think, mate?
I agree, 100% speed. I want guys that can fly all over the field. I'm not really paying attention to having, a certain threshold. Last year they had 91 zone where as soon as the quarterback started his animation, they would break on the ball. This year, 99 zone is what last year was 91. So basically you're just getting a very, very small, boost to the break on ball time. It's not really at a point this year where it's super elite for anyone. Yeah, you can get a few items that'll, break on the ball, but in general, I just want speed because once they do break on the ball, I want them to get there as soon as possible.
Boom. You heard it from Master General Zahn right there. What do you think, Director? Are you a believer now?
No. The reason I was putting my finger up was like, stats don't matter. I was like, wait a second. But yeah, no, absolutely. For certain, speed will make a huge difference. And this is something that me and Trumpetmonkey talked about a couple of days ago. Really, when you're looking at the safety position, it's all about speed. And this really helped solidify my decision. I'm level 47 right now. In 2 levels, I'm going to take that 89, 90, or whatever power-up pass and use it on Adrian Amos because really he's one of the biggest difference makers on the field when it comes to the strong safety position. However, ladies and gentlemen, we have some breaking news about tomorrow that could help broaden the options at strong safety. We just got word of the new legends dropping in MUT, which would be this morning. You guys are seeing the episode. Now, first knee-jerk reactions, boys. Here we go. First player, Eddie George, Trumpetmonkey, the old school-minded NFL player. What do you think of this Eddie George card?
So, I think apparently I'm the only person in the universe that's excited about this card because it's a combination of, speed and trucking. With decent carrying as well. So
6'3".
The whole idea with this dude is you literally battering ram him. You're not going to be I wouldn't be juking and spinning anyway. I'm just going to hand it off and literally hit stick. Truck stick. Sorry. Straight ahead on this one. I'm kind of pumped about it. Zan, what do you think, mate?
It's been an interesting year. Last year was such a truck heavy game. I feel like EA kind of swung it back to the more elusive direction this year with spin move and the juke being so great. But one thing that I'd be interesting to see is if he does have a good juke or a good spin, that could be a pretty dangerous combo. You see some of those guys that are running that Ricky Williams right now, and when they run him at the highest levels, he can make some pretty insane plays. And this right here is basically about that trucking rating. I mean, that's 91's pretty good, so I would definitely look at that.
There's a part of me that feels like we haven't seen a back yet that can utilize the trucking animations the way they could be. Eddie George will have to be that man if it is in the game at all because 6'3", he's got to be heavy, 91 trucking. He's basically Derrick Henry but on steroids.
Yeah, and which is Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry on steroids. So Derrick Henry is like Eddie George on steroids in real life, I guess. But obviously they're not using performance enhancing drugs. We weren't insinuating that.
Oh my God, they're coming, Trumpetmonkey. They heard the show. We got to shut this down.
The Titans are coming. The Mutt Wieners are coming. This guy right here is actually there is an ability this year that not a lot of people know about called trucking specialist, which you could put onto a card, but he needs to have above 90 trucking, and obviously then he also needs to be above a certain overall. This is going to be the first one. Super interested to see if that works at all whatsoever. Look, this card for me is kind of pretty exciting. But I'm probably going to hold off until we get a beast mode that's upgraded, and then I'm going to spend those 1,000 training points or however much it's going to be for that trucking specialist.
Good deal.
But I like the card. But this next card here, and Zan, you touched upon it. Tell us what you think initially. Lawrence Taylor, LT, is coming back because he's going to have a power-up card that everyone's going to be able to get for free. So then it's just a matter of training points and how many training points you want to spend to kind of get him up. What do you reckon, Zan?
This dude is I'm going to make this short and sweet. He's must own, period. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're no money spent. you got to find a way. It's going to be very, very tough, but get there as soon as possible. One of the best run stoppers and pass rush combos every single year, and he's an athletic freak. 6'3", 87 speed. Just dude's crazy.
Get him. So like right now, right, mate? I've got from the level packs. Okay, we when we say we're no money spent, we indulge on the level packs. For me, I look at that as like DLC content. Okay, so that might be slightly controversial for you to hear, Zan, but you will never see me buy a bundle for myself. I only buy bundles for our giveaways on the stream, and I even liquidate and sell all of the trash cards that we get from there as well to do like added item giveaways. But I do indulge in the level packs. Okay, I don't have a problem with that over the course of a 12-month period indulging there. Excuses, but I've got Clowny out of one of those level packs. Okay. Right now, and I powered up Clowny as well. Are you telling me, and I hope you are you telling me liquidate that Clowny, get those training points, because he's NAT, right? So I can't sell him, unfortunately, and go and get myself the best possible LT that I can get? What do you reckon?
Let me ask you, do you believe in playing players out of position?
I don't know why. I feel like it gives me bad juju.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to say, yeah, go ahead and get your training points back. I would be willing to kick Clowny to defensive end in a 3-4 or a 4-3 for that matter, if that's something that you're open to. But otherwise, yeah, I'd be replacing him and working on Lawrence Taylor.
Nice.
Of a card. That's what I do, Trumpetmonkey. Like right now with Jadeveon Clowney, I run out of 4-3. So if I end up putting him at sub right end or rushing right end, if I put Clowney there, I can keep my Derek Brooks at coverage outside linebacker and then use Clowney as a rusher. I might be inclined to do the same thing with Lawrence Taylor, because Lawrence Taylor, I remember in Madden 18, the game was fine for a while, right? And then Easter rolls around and LT gets dropped into the promo, and it's like everyone can get him. You're like, crap. There's no way I can attack the left side of my line ever again. And I feel like that's the same way with Lawrence Taylor this year. He's never disappointed. In all of his MUT cards, I have never once been disappointed with an LT card.
I genuinely stopped running to the left side of the field in MUT 18 when LT came out. But I want to just rewind a tiny bit. Zan, you are the master of figuring out the system, the code, the game. I've always felt when you run players out of position, you nearly get penalized somehow, whether it's through RNG or some mythical creature penalizes you. Okay,
this is a great question.
The random number generator.
Yeah.
You're saying, what do you think, mate? Is there any truth to that whatsoever? That if you come out with guys out of position, that your team will kind of let you down? Will play a little.
And are
worse?
you running anybody out of position?
Yeah, tell us.
It's interesting. I've gone back and forth with this over the years. There's been years where I feel like guys play, much better in position than they do out. This year, I run players out of position all the time. It's about being resourceful for me. So if I can't afford a really fast linebacker that I want for coverage purposes, I'm going to use that gold TJ Green safety and then package sub him into the linebacker positions in dollar or whatever I can do to get somebody with the athletic ability that I need to use her. So there are different areas of the field that I'll kick guys down. Sometimes what you were saying, the specialists this year, they're so important. You can run a defensive end or an outside linebacker is a rush end. Those are guys that can come out in sub packages. And I think that's just kind of how the NFL has actually evolved in real life too. I mean, you see guys that, can rush from literally any technique, and these specialist roles kind of allow you to get them in different areas that you otherwise might not have last year.
I noticed that right away when I was thinking, I have, and I still currently have Aaron Donald at right end. But when you compare him with even 89 Jadeveon Clowney, it seemed like no contest. Jadeveon Clowney for the win every single time. As soon as I practiced that out of position with Clowney, I've noticed in another sneak peek to Trumpetmonkey versus Director. Trumpetmonkey got a first person view of Clowney every other snap. He absolutely gets in the face of the quarterback, and that's something I didn't notice with Aaron Donald quite as much. So, I mean, what players do you currently... I'm sorry, you already did answer that.
and for the record, this is why I'm afraid of clowns now. Okay, I wasn't before that game. I mean, I saw Stephen King's original It. I saw the remake. I've seen every creepy clown that there is to see. Okay, House of a Thousand Corpses, you name it. I was not afraid of clowns, and then I played director, and now I can't sleep at night.
Well, just wait, Trumpetmonkey, because Lawrence Taylor is on the horizon. And tomorrow's going to be a very busy day for a lot of pack rippers, because Lawrence Taylor is definitely one that you want to go for, including, which kind of was our
wait a
segue
second. Wait a
into-
second. Are you saying I'm going to be like scared every time I go to visit a tailor now? Like, I mean, not the way that it's spelled or anything like. Like I need a new, honey, you need a new suit. Oh no. Okay, is that what's gonna happen? I hope not.
Oh,
I'm not
God.
really. I don't know too many people called Lawrence, so that's it.
Well, just be prepared to
Peter
have
or Cool.
flashbacks. The last legend dropping this
Boom.
morning, Steve Atwater. The man is incredible. There's a couple strong safeties, be it Larry Wilson, Steve Atwater, that I respect at this position, even though he's a dirty Bronco. Guys, our first 93 overall legend at 6'3", 89 speed, 90 zone, 92 hit power, 92 pursuit, etc. What do you think of this card, Zan? If you're a kind of guy that's got coins burning through your account right now, is this someone you'd want to invest in?
Oh yeah, for sure. Speed, speed, zone coverage, hit power. This is a guy that, you could play at a strong safety position. You could use him as a sub linebacker as well on your depth chart. This dude is literally a must-own item. If price isn't an option. If you're looking for an alternative, again, I'm saying Adrian Amos. If you can't afford Atwater tomorrow, and you're looking for the guy that is kind of like him, it is Amos.
And I
hope, director. This again, I guess I am for these limited cards. I am for them holding value as well. But this one, I wish Atwater was one of the set items. I really do. Because then that's the only problem. I hope this drives down the Amos price a little bit. If he were a set item, though, as opposed to a limited, he really definitely would. Because I'm with you, Zan. Like I finally splurged and got the Amos. Like I used my 88, 89 power up pass on him so I could get him. And my God, did he play brilliantly, man. I mean, like he's straight away is a difference maker who when you invest in a card and then they single-handedly, like, and literally with one hand interceptions, win you head-to-head games instantly, and just perfectly fit into your scheme and make plays on the ball, like you're saying, flying around. That is a really good feeling. Like, probably the most hollow feeling in the world in MUT is when you go, oh, gee whiz, I spent the money on the card and this is going to be great. And you put them in the lineup and you get out there and then they just don't do anything. And you're like, well, why did I even bother? Why did I even bother there? God damn it. But in this case, Amos worth every single penny. I think you're right, man.
Now I'm getting a premonition, Trumpetmonkey. I feel that everyone eventually will be able. I'm seeing clearly into week 6, week 7. The strong safety position won't be of any concern because Derwin James is gonna earn himself a team of the week, and everyone that did the rookie premiere set is gonna be very happy with similar stats to that of a Steve Atwater. Just be patient.
I'm really
it's coming.
Almighty Master General Zahn, I apologize. He makes this prediction at least 5 times a week. You must 1,000 apologies, son of Krypton. Welcome to planet Earth. This is the Derwin James Booster Club here on the right of your screen. You can do it, man. All right. Maybe director. I hope so. I've got the rookie premiere card.
Happen.
I mean,
he had a great week 1. Just be patient. It's on the horizon.
We actually forgot to mention that in the team of the week section. Denzel Ward got a little bit of a nice bump up to an 84 overall. And I mean, he might not be. He's definitely he's a gunner. He's a gunner on the kickoff squad. Like he's running down the field to make those hits. But Denzel Ward, 2 interceptions in his first ever NFL game.
Very impressive.
Suddenly the Browns don't look as crazy for passing up on Chubb.
He's gonna be getting some nice upgrades throughout the year as well. But yeah, hopefully Derwin James. So I hope so, mate. I hope so.
All right. Now, it's time. We just passed the hour mark. We're all crazy out here. We get carried away. But I feel like it is now time to dive deep into the mind of Zahn. Trumpetmonkey has prepared some questions that he would like to surface out of the psyche of Zahn. Here we go, Trumpetmonkey. Take it away.
I'm sorry, we've completely changed your branding, Zan. We're calling you Zahn. I hope that's all right. We haven't mentioned.
You know what? It's totally fine because it's actually, believe it or not, it's like it happens all the time. It really does. It happens all the time, and that I've heard it just as much, man.
Okay,
trust me, you're not the first.
Descent accents screwing up brands left and right.
That's it. Right? God damn it! These Aussie Kiwi, these Anzac accents. All right, next on the show we've got Zahn. Zahn, how are you, mate? All right. What do you think of drop bears? No, kidding. Okay, so look, mate. Like this is where we're diving into your brain. This is actually probably the part of the show we're most excited. We love talking MUT, man. We could talk MUT till the cows come. But special guests on the show. We want to know more. We've already asked you how No Money Spent's going, and like. That thank you for sharing that, right? But you are known, obviously, playbook.gg. But you're known for scheming. You're known not only for scheming, but also the theories, like the coming up with the really, really cool stuff. For example, the Fat Five theory, right? Where you basically were able to tell the entire Madden community that you could have, big old, strong, fat, silver O lineman. Was that in Madden 17?
Yeah, that was a Madden 17 theory.
Madden 17. Yep. Yeah, and it worked. Stuff like that. And we spoke a little bit off camera, but for the folks at home, the listeners, like how do you have a system for coming up with those schemes? And even if it's not necessarily said, like, how do you do it? Just tell us, because
it's about damn time we know. It's been keeping me up at night, Zahn. Just spill the beans.
Right.
So the Fat Five theory in 17, I'll speak on that one because that one is probably the one that a lot of people that follow me know me for. What it was actually publicly available information. A lot of the devs for EA are on Twitter, and you can use them as great resources to find things out about the game. And I remember when somebody had actually sent feedback to one of the devs, Clint Oldenburg, and Clint Oldenburg it still is on the team, and at that time he did a lot of the offensive line, defensive line interactions. Yeah. And a player sent him a video. They said, "Hey, this happened all game long. What am I doing wrong? Because this is the rating of this player, and this is the rating of that player. But that player won. Why?" And Clint at that time said, well, those two ratings are only, I think 33% of the algorithm for run blocking and block shedding. And he said you also need to pay attention to this and this, which those other two things were strength and weight at the time. Well, when he said that comparison for that algorithm was only 33% and that the two other things are strength and weight, at that point, I started to look into it, and it was more for salary cap at the time, because in salary cap, you're looking at the salary cap numbers and trying to figure out how to get the most bang for your buck. And I kind of noticed that a lot of the silver linemen that were very, very, very high weight, very, very high strength or decent strength, but really, really low blocking stats in salary cap would be a great punt play in salary cap because you actually don't pay salary cap for their weight. So it was actually a tip that kind of just took off for a specific competitive niche and then kind of took over MUT as a result. Guys would just all of a sudden, instead of splitting hairs on an 82 run block player versus an 81 run block player, they'd say, you know what, if the 81 guy is 20 pounds heavier, that's my guy. And, I guess that just kind of, it was just publicly available information and, just put in a little bit of lab work to figure it out.
Yeah, talk about the lab work. So, but mate, that is so brave. You would never see, no offense, director, but planks like me and myself and director and I coming in and going like, you know what we're going to do today, director? We're going to go out there with an all bronze O-line because bronze is actually a stronger metal in real life than gold, which is very malleable. I'm onto something that is publicly available information. Bronze beats gold. If you were to mash them together, the gold would have a dent in it. The bronze would be strong. We're doing it.
Your
and
ticket
then
to the loony bin, Trumpetmonkey.
That's it. Where's my straight jacket? As long as it has like Raiders like patents on it like this right here, then you can straight jacket me up. You see what I mean? Like, so
this whole time.
It's a sports jacket, okay? So you're telling me, Zan, that you're like, we're going to take this into head-to-head and see how it works?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the best place to test it out. I also did a little bit of testing myself just by editing the rosters, taking players that, had high run block and pushing it all the way down and, maybe messing with the weight, creating players, things like that. Sometimes those tests do help. And those are the things that make major differences, is just knowing those small little things about, hey, you're going to have to pay for weight in a run blocking algorithm. So, you could go out and, salary cap points or coins, people don't pay for weight typically. So And basically that's how you do it.
I got to tell you, man, and see, at the time you weren't no money spent, but I hope now you can appreciate why you are a folklore hero, because when you're no money spent and you literally pick up, I don't need elite O linemen and I can actually compete. When you learn something like that, it is awesome, my friend. And that's literally, I was kind of already like, oh, this Hands guy's pretty cool. But when you came out with Fat Five, I was like, this fella right here, he could be Prime Minister of Australia. Give him a meat pie, give him a bloody skewy. He's going to be our PM. Nobody will mess with us, all right?
Don't accept that offer, Zen. You don't want that. You don't want anything to do with that. Just walk away, be polite, just neglect.
Yeah. If you're into sheep, and women who look like men, then New Zealand is where you want to be prime minister, okay?
But we've got great personalities.
Great personality, very winning personalities. That's it. And most of your sheep have better personalities than your people. Well, that's awesome. So you analyze, you look, you listen, you pick up on information, and then you test it and put it into effect. That's pretty much like your system then for coming up with schemes, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's basically just scientific method. You test a variable. Maybe it's a certain play and how it works on the short side of the field versus the wide side of the field. So at that point, you're testing, spacing of your offense, essentially. Like, you're going to test this offense against, the same cover 2 defense, but what you're changing is where exactly the ball is placed between the hash marks. Those are the things that make great Madden players from good Madden players. Players like Michael Skimbo that have won multiple Madden championships. Spacing of the offense is what it's all about. You have to know exactly where that route is going to go and exactly how that zone is going to react in that spot on the field based off of, wide side, short side. And the same could be said between, offensive, defensive line interactions, as we've discussed, or sometimes it's for something like, catching balls in the red zone, spec catch and jump and catching traffic, how those things blend together. It's always just, kind of making small changes and seeing what big differences you notice.
That's it. And I can tell.
This kind of leads into that. I was really interested in asking you today, Zan, is okay, for one thing, I lurk in your streams quite a bit, all right? Whenever you're on, whenever you're live, there's a Kiwi in the bushes just observing and watching, okay? And one thing I really appreciate about your streams is the way that, for one, when new content comes out, you'll break them down and look at this, statistic here is going to be, best used in this scheme and yada, yada. And that's something that the Madden community really does appreciate and cherishes. But the big thing that I, as let's say an amateur Madden player, would look to you for is a lot of us coming into Madden feel intimidated by saying the word intimidated. No, intimidated by scheming, by getting in the lab, by figuring out an identity on offense and defense that'll help us compete and have fun online. So the bottom line is we want to have fun. If you're getting trounced every single game, you're not going to want to play as much, right? So what can a Madden player do that is intimidated by creating a scheme, by figuring out a playbook, by utilizing money plays and schemes that can help them in head-to-head? What can they do in order to gather that confidence and knowledge to take into the game?
The thing that I tell everybody, this is a question I get a lot, and what I tell everyone is you can't be afraid to fail, ever. It's inevitable. Anytime you are trying something new, you are going to fail. I mean, today, I'm jumping in that offense. You're going to throw picks before you learn, hey, you're not going to throw, you have to throw the pick before you know that read's not open or whatever. Same thing with like usering. If you are trying to make that leap from maybe rushing the passer on a defensive tackle every down to using a linebacker. You have to understand that you're going to fail, and you're going to fail a lot before you succeed. And then when you succeed, you get that motivation, that confirmation that the work you put in was worth it. Truthfully, that's the biggest thing. But like when you're actually looking into building a scheme, just make sure that you're balanced. If it's an offense, you want to make sure that your run game, left, right, and center from the same formation. You need to be able to make them respect, the outside run, the inside run, both sides of the center. Obviously, you need a passing game to go with it. You need to be able to beat man coverage and zone coverage. So it can be intimidating, but when you try to learn progression reads and try to keep it football, I tell a lot of players, don't necessarily go to, as someone who runs a content site and people subscribe for tips and things like that, I will sometimes tell them, hey, you know what? Pick up this book from Barnes & Noble because it will really help your Madden game, because if you can start to learn what progressions are, that's going to help your passing game. If you start to kind of pick up on keys for how coverages rotate, that's going to help your passing game. So just don't be afraid to fail and read up on football as much as possible. Even if it's not Madden content, football content will still open your eyes and give you ideas.
Yeah.
Well, not to down talk,
awesome.
The content, obviously you create, content is to help players take it to the next level. Honestly, man, I feel like a lot of people would be very interested on taking a peek, and it's a drop, but it's definitely not something that I feel we should shy away from, And there's guys like me, I know Trumpetmonkey, like there's a lot of guys that take a lot of value out of things like that, because it's not always about you grab someone else's scheme, you just run it. That helps you learn how the game moves, how it works, how what your tendencies are, and what works for you, what you enjoy playing Madden like. So where can they find some of your content to help them discover themselves as Madden players? Sure.
I appreciate it. You can check me out on twitch.tv/forwardprogressmadden. That's 4 with the number 4, not FOR.
We got that. We'll have that in the description.
Okay. And you can also check out a website that I help run. It's www.playbook.gg. We have a lot of free tools on the site as well. We have an absolutely free, sorry for the plug, we have an absolutely free bunch tight end offense for you guys to check out. Awesome. Kind of in memory of Taylor Robinson, who was one of the players that we had on the site as a pro last year. So you guys could check that out as well. And that's going to be a site that's more dedicated to helping you maybe take that next step to competing. But you can always drop by the Twitch channel, and I'm happy to help. Any questions you guys might have.
And the show's called Forward Progress, right?
Yes. Forward Progress.
Definitely check it out, because I lurk in there creepily sometimes, and it is absolutely eye-opening what you can learn about what you've been doing wrong in Madden for the longest time, or things you could do better. It's something that definitely will help you open your eyes to the game of Madden a little bit.
Absolutely. And so, Zan, mate, you do epic work, and that is why we want your opinion on this. All right, I want to MUT 19 specifically. I got a couple of there are not going to be any negative questions. So this isn't BBC Hard Talk, okay? We did that last week with Gut, all right? But right now, what's your favorite card in MUT 19? And why?
I'm going to sound like a broken record. Adrian Amos is everywhere, dude. I'm telling you, the dude is must own. But I'm going to give you a better answer than that.
Well, we like Amos too, so we're sold on him.
He's unbelievable, man. He's so good. I'll give you a budget item that's must own if you're a no money spent. TJ Green, one of the best users in the game. I believe he's a safety for the Colts. I believe he got cut. I believe he got cut by them, but he is. You can find him in the auction house. He's a free safety for the Colts. As far as elites go, oh man, you can't go wrong with that campaign. LaShawn McCoy, that dude can spin.
I was just
He's all over the place.
Shady. I remember on your stream last night, you had a spin juke stiff arm. Do you remember that one on the right-hand side of the field? It was just before I left the stream. Yes. I was like, whoa, it's spin, juke, stiff arm with Shady, and then you nearly took it to the house. You just got tapped with a stupid whopping tackle from behind. I was like, oh my God.
ESPN top 10 play turned wrong.
It was unreal.
It was like shoelace tackle, a yard short. Yeah, I couldn't believe that. He's an absolutely free item. Just do your solos, as you guys talked about. Do those campaign solos. Shady and Telvin are a great way to kick off your team if you're just starting.
Unreal. Okay, all right. And so in terms of those are the cards, all right, then I'm gonna ask you to tell us, like, what do you really love? Like, what do you really like about MUT 19 in terms of the gameplay specifically? So the on the field, the in-game mechanics, not necessarily like the sets or the promos or anything like the actual in-game. Are there a couple of features or even just, you know, tweaks, adjustments, fine-tune adjustments that they made this year that you're kind of sitting there going like, this is why I really like the game this year?
Yeah, so this year they paid a lot of attention to some of your different coverage shells, adding match rules to the game. So what match rules are basically, it looks like a zone call. You could take a look. Most of your playbooks have it. It's called cover 3 match or cover 4 quarters. And those defenses in certain scenarios will actually play man-to-man. So while your defensive back looks like he's responsible for getting back down the sideline, maybe he's actually going to play a receiver if he runs a post route or an in route over the middle. But not only that, but you can actually use the Protect the Sticks feature by pressing your coverage audible button, which is Y or triangle on the PlayStation, and then the left bumper or L1 on the PlayStation. Yeah. And that is going to tell your players, you know what, drop your match rules and just play regular zone drop. And I can't tell you how great a tool that is. If you're playing somebody that heavily relies on the previous play feature and they're like, cover 3 match, let me dial up my man beater, and then you protect the sticks on him and you drop zone instead of match, and they throw that slant thinking that, you know, he's going to be somewhere else, and you get that pick. It's such a great way to just kind of, you know, mix up the match rules and just kind of create some different hybrid coverages.
Unreal, man. Unreal. This is why you are son of Krypton, Master General Zahn. That's awesome. That's awesome, man. And to be perfectly honest with you, I have just this last week or so started experimenting with that. With sometime, like you say, disastrous results. But I mean that's like mind-boggling. Okay, well then, and look, we like to take a glass half full approach to the negative side of things as well. So this is a question that we are asking our special guests. Okay. I am a Madden genie in a bottle, and you're very disappointed that I am not a voluptuous, beautiful woman genie. I am, in fact, a funny-looking Australian Raiders fan genie with short shorts.
Oh, my God, every episode.
But you have 3 wishes, 3 things that you can change. Anything about MUT this year. That this could be online, offline, promo-driven, set-driven, whatever it is. 3 wishes, though. 3 things that you would like to either add or change. Putting me on the spot.
Number 1, for the no money spent guys, throw some training points into your Super Bowl, no matter what level. You know, obviously all Madden first string, you can get a lot more training points than you would at, you know, all pro first string, but get some training points in that Super Bowl pack that you give the winners. My second one, I'm going to take it on the field.
Nice.
Center fielders in cover 3 for far too long have not been playing the post route. I feel like I just want around the horn and I'm like doing my 30 seconds or whatever. Cover 3 center fielders, I need to see the post. The whole purpose of cover 3 is to defend the post. So please play the post. Please play the post. I'm begging you. Third one.
Yeah.
No. What were you gonna say?
Well, you've been inside the building at EA. We saw the interview with the now replaced producer of the game. I mean, you're inside the walls. Couldn't you walk over to a dev and be like, I say, hello there, Mr. Dev? Like, tap them on the shoulder. They're like, I'm deving Madden right here. Yes, hello, Dan. You're like, I say, could you possibly make that deep blue in the middle of the field do his goddamn job? I mean, obviously you can't raise your voice. That's probably why the last producer got through the door. But yeah, come on. Like you were in there. Did you just say, hey, here's an idea?
Yeah, no. Anthony White is a great guy. Dude is insanely intelligent about coverage rules. I have a lot of confidence that he's going to get a lot of these issues shored up. Just one of those legacy things that continues to be a problem. But hopefully they do attack that, because I feel like you'll see more variety offensively. I feel like a lot of players just right now like to spam drags and posts, and if you make cover 3 actually defend a post, I think you'll start to see some other concepts, trickle into Madden, and variety is a good thing. So I definitely hope that they can address that.
Absolutely. And okay, your third genie wish. I'm your genie. Hello.
Oh man, third one.
You want shorts, don't you? You want all the players in the game to wear. I'm sorry, I'll shut up.
I need you to kindly decline that invitation. Just step away politely and just push it away.
My third one. This has been. I've had a much better year with feedback on the game and not letting the smaller things bother me. But this one's a big one for me. I need to see dollar and all these sub packages that take linebackers off the field and put these 195-pound corners on the field.
Yeah.
These need to stopping. They can't stop the run. They just shouldn't.
Yeah.
They just, for the sake of football and competitive Madden, all the way, to any style of Madden, nobody wants to see the dime stop the run or the dollar stop the run. So
because that and
just got to
get that fixed. The reason you're saying that is right. Like, I mean, okay, so whatever about getting past the D line, right? Who would still, be like in dime, you still got your 2 defensive tackles and your 2 DNs on there, right? Like, but you're saying in the next level, there's no way that like you said, these 190-pound, 200-pound corners would be effectively stopping a power run scheme, and that in real life. But yeah, everyone's like, well, it's not real life, it's a video. Yeah, we get that, but even in Madden as well, that it's a better game if that doesn't happen. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which I agree with. Yeah.
Yeah, they've taken measures to try to do what's called the weak box rule, where if they have 5 guys in the box, they pancake guys. But at the same time, there's no double team pancake animations in the game right now. So you'll see that nose tackle doesn't get pancaked, and then he just is the one roadblock, and you trip up over him. It's like, okay, well, I think they need to get some pancake animations for the double teams, and I think that issue might resolve itself.
Unreal. Well, there you have it. There you go. Listen, Zan. I think next time you're maybe in the building in EA, you need to just have like a little sit-in. Like take your your sleeping bag and your little tent, and you should just stay there. I'll come with you if you want. And we'll be like, we're not leaving until you fix those deep blues in the middle of the field, and we can double team pancake a nose tackle. I think that would be great. Director, you can bring the s'mores. How's that?
Yeah, I'll be documenting from a safe distance for sure. That would be highly beneficial. We'd be heroes of the MUT community forever. But it's been an awesome episode, guys. Like, this is honestly one of the most insightful episodes I think we've had in a while. I really like getting deep into Madden and figuring out how things work, because that's something a lot of people, including myself, forget a lot of the times. It's hard to make things work when you don't know how they work in the first place. So Zan, thank you so much for joining us today. The Master, Field General Master Zan, on the episode today. We will drop his credentials, his links in the description below. Trumpetmonkey, as always, it's been forcibly tolerable. And Zan, we would love to have you on the show later on in the year again, my man. Looking forward to seeing your MUT year progress and how the no money team progresses as well, because I'm very, very impressed every time I log on and I see these golds taking these elites to town and back to school. Anything else you want to add, Trumpetmonkey?
No, just have yourselves a fantastic weekend, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Enjoy the Lawrence Taylor, Eddie George, Steve Atwater smorgasbord of legends this week. That's and of course double XP, guys. It's double XP weekend.
Oh yeah, don't forget that.
Get grinding, guys. Get out there, hit level 50, splurge a little if you feel inclined to on those level packs, and of course stay safe and have fun. Look after yourself, look after each other, and thank you for being here. Field General Master Zan from Krypton, we appreciate you and the mighty Da Bears.
The Bears. Thanks, guys, so much for joining us today. This has been the director, Trumpetmonkey, and Fieldmaster Zahn. We'll see you guys next time. As always, stay frosty.
Last chance, 4th and long, finding the will to bolt up. Bundle up, cause you know we stay frosty. I take my frosty chocolate, vanilla, or swirl. Mutt master YouTuber, come on, let's give it a whirl. Mutt, Madden, Twitch streamer, put the snowman to shame. Staying frosty's the only way we stay alive in this game. They're reffing the match, directors directing the game. Scared of my underdog team, you know them gods will be slain.